Welcome back to Beyond Classified. I'm Chris Matthew. Tonight, my guest is once again author and historian Cory Hughes. Cory, how are you doing tonight or today?
I'm fucking terrible. How are you doing?
I might be a little better than you, but still, the psychological situation that people are being rung through right now is not too good. And I think a lot of people are feeling this from the people I've been talking to. Today, Cory has some updates on our ongoing psych war that we're all now unwilling participants in, and not only in that, we're in an information war. We're also guinea pigs being jabbed with experimental gene therapy and possible nanotechnologies. Who knows what the hell's in those fucking things? If you refuse to participate and reject the false reality and lies of the empire, you are now the enemy and will be cast aside as terrorists and enemies of the people. The reality is we're now in a world that is stranger than fiction. This is more bizarre than the most weird and stupid sci-fi thriller movie I've ever seen. Our reality now kind of resembles that of Star Wars, just poorly made. The evil empire, and then us, the people, the rebellion. I believe we're living in really one of the most significant times in our modern history. You kind of gave us a hint about how you're feeling about everything, but with our new developments over the past few weeks to a month, how do you feel about everything going on?
This is a this is a very unique situation for modern times, and I'm going to be brutally fucking honest. Throughout this entire pseudo pandemic, I had not been scared at all until they started to roll out the New York vaccine passport. They announced it a couple of weeks ago. That was the first time that I really started to get scared. Now, I am 100% firmly frightened moving forward. And so I kind of realized, and I'm really disappointed in myself for not realizing this like months ago, because I think it's even something that I've talked about in the past. But a lot of times, even though we can know what's going on, we are not insulated from the effects, even if we understand what's happening, right? And that I didn't really experience. I didn't know. I knew about it academically, right? I didn't know about it from experience. And now I can tell you with certainty that for the last couple months, in particular, probably starting when they started to decrease the lockdown measures and everything seemed to be going back to normal, right? Starting right about then, I can really kind of trace tensions rising in the country ever since. The tensions that are rising are causing everyone, whether consciously or subconsciously, to begin to question their own actual security. And when I say security, I refer to the hierarchy of needs,
You actually
the
gave a great
fundamental
example
stuff.
of that with an experiment that they were doing with rats. Maybe you could talk a little
Yeah,
bit about that.
yeah. So I think it's kind of hard to anyone to deny that tensions are heightened. And we might feel that on an individual and interpersonal way that we're immune or exempt from those. But I started to see the fucking world just go crazy. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. Why are people doing this? Why are people making the decisions they're making? What is happening here to people's sense of, there's no other word for it except security, right? And then it goes back to the hierarchy of needs. What do we need? We need air. We need water. We need food. We need shelter, right? And living in American society, we've never had to bring any of that shit into question. We've always had that security here, always, at least in throughout the 20th century and in the 21st century. But these fundamental things that we all need are truly being threatened. And I think that even on a subconscious level, is causing the tensions to rise. It's causing people to lash out. I'm an asshole, I'll tell you that, and Chris will tell you that. And the bottom line is, I found myself lashing out, not knowing why, and not justifying it in any way. Because I'm realizing that all of us are on our goddamn eggshells in the world, in the fucking world. You walk down the street and you can feel it. You go through the grocery store and you can fucking feel it. It's goddamn like quicksand, and it's pulling all of us in, and we cannot allow it to do that, because that is what they fucking want. That is how they win. They win by destroying the things we're not talking about on the fucking news, right? Like our friendships and our family, and it's frightening. It is so frightening because it's stripping the individual from its community down to the least common denominator, which is the one person, the one individual. And we cannot survive on our own.
No, you're absolutely right. I've noticed this myself. I've felt it myself. The tensions are ridiculous. And another thing is, for a while when this COVID started, people were getting help from corporations and handouts from companies, and they were getting help with their struggles, and we were throwing out these stimulus checks, and they had this false sense of security that, oh yeah, we'll be able to get by because the government's going to help us out through this. Authorities are going to help. The corporations are going to help us out. We're going to have these little handouts. We'll get through this. And now, boom, handouts are gone. All the help is over. You're on your fucking own during this whole situation now. And that is, I think, adding to a lot of people's shit right now.
It really is. It really is. And I want to play a fucking video from 80 years ago. Okay, this is going to be ironic, but at the same time, it's the message holds true to this day. And the thing when you watch this, you need to think about is that this was made in 1940. It's Charlie Chaplin from The Great Dictator, and this is the final closing speech of the film. Spoiler alert, you should have seen it if you haven't already. It's been out for 80 years. So let me share a screen here. Oh, can you set me up a screen share? So.
Oh, hold on. Let me do that. And while I'm doing that, I want to remind everyone in the audience that this will be also an open conversation. Leave any questions in the chat at any time, and we will get to them when we can. Questions, comments, anything you want to leave in there. And you should be good to go.
I got to put the sound on. Hang on a second. Let me stop this thing. Share sound. There we go.
All right. I can see it.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all